Cast first with Elisa. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Still dark out there this morning, as now that sunset will be after 7 a.m. because we changed the clocks over, but it's still warm at 52 degrees out there this morning with clouds and steady southerly winds. You can see the camera is shaking a little bit. We've got some light rain moving through. It's pretty widespread where you'll have some wet roads and maybe need to use the windshield wipers and umbrellas on your way to work and school this morning. Temperatures are mild. It's 55 in West Plains, 53 in Ava, and 52 degrees in Springfield. So by dismissal, we'll keep some showers around. The breezy southerly winds and temperatures warm in the lower 60s. Then as the front comes through this evening, we will find one or two strong to severe storms to the south and west in that green marginal risk area. The threat is for quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and maybe some locally heavy rain. So that batch of some lighter showers continues to move through about lunchtime. Spottier showers by later on this afternoon. Then after 4 o'clock, here comes the cold front. You can see the line of some showers and thunder pulling across the Ozarks, where we could have some stronger storms to the south. It quickly gets to the east by about midnight. We'll be dry after midnight with just some clouds and cooler upper 30s. Temperatures still mild with a few clouds on Tuesday. Rain totals from that first round of steadier rain look to be light, about a half an inch or 3/4 of an inch of rain will be pretty widespread. Again, that severe window is from 4 to 10 to the south and west, mainly for wind and hail. A lull tomorrow where we're dry and warm, but then we turn unsettled again by Wednesday and Thursday, especially to the south. We'll have our next bigger storm roll through by Saturday, where some showers and thunder look pretty widespread again. So unsettled here in the 7-day, showers and thunder today, a drier day tomorrow, and then that rain chance returns on Wednesday. Temperatures staying above average in the low to middle 60s. The mild stretch continues through the week with temperatures staying either at or above average. Joe, Lauren.
We begin with your medical coverage now. With Missouri's first presumptive positive case of the coronavirus in St. Louis, more people are also preparing for this to spread. Keep in mind there are still no confirmed cases in Greene County. Cindy Edwards is a registered nurse that specializes in infection prevention at Cox Health. She says in this time of year when people are more prone to getting sick, there is some emphasized importance on washing your hands and also being mindful of touching your face less.
We often touch dirty door handles or areas that are high-touch surfaces, and then or we go to the restroom, and then we eat or put our hands in our mouth, and so then we put those organisms into our mouth.
She adds that hand sanitizer is an okay replacement if you can't get to soap and water, but make sure to use it thoroughly. We've actually got an example of how to do so when you find this story online at ozarksfirst.com.
Facebook is now changing what online sales and advertising it allows, as the site announced it's banning face mask ads and commerce listings in response to online sale prices increasing. The site also says when users click on a hashtag related to COVID-19, information for the World Health Organization, the CDC, and local health authorities will be provided.
The U.S. Army has suspended travel for all soldiers and their families to and from South Korea. The travel ban aimed to protect the spread of COVID-19 will be in effect through May 6th. There are more than 28,000 U.S. troops stationed in South Korea.
We put crime into focus for you now as a Lebanon man accepts a plea deal and is sentenced for a 2018 murder. Kashawn Williams was originally charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action in the death of Gary Peterson. Per the plea deal, he pleads guilty to second-degree murder and ACA. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole for the murder charge and 20 years for ACA. The sentences will run concurrent to one another.
2 of 4 men accused of kidnapping, raping, and drugging a woman in Everton will be arraigned in federal court today. James Magger Jr. and Donnie Willis both face multiple felony charges in this case. According to the probable cause statement, the men injected both themselves and the victim with narcotics. The victim says they continued to inject her as they repeatedly raped her.
Moving on with a story that's your right to know. We now know the name of a person found dead in Springfield this weekend, identified as 63-year-old James Simons from Arkansas. His body was found Saturday on the property of the permanently closed Rancho Motel here in Springfield. He appeared to have been hit several times, and this is now a homicide investigation. Anyone with information should contact Springfield PD or Crime Stoppers. That number is 869-TIPS.
Fire trucks and first responders can now have a safer route to enter Camp Arrowhead as an old deteriorating bridge is now being restored. Camp Arrowhead is the oldest scout camp west of the Mississippi, and yesterday we visited the construction site. The bridge is the main entrance to the camp and has been there for almost half a century. It's currently made out of wood timbers, many of which are rotting. Travis Miller with Miller Engineering is one of 3 companies that volunteered to replace the bridge, which is why the project won't cost anything. The new bridge also allows for the camp to build a proper storm shelter.
It requires bringing in lots of heavy equipment, and we were really concerned about the bridge at that time. And so now with this bridge in place, we can bring in those other components for future storm shelters.
Being out here during the summer months, in springtime, having somewhere the kids can shelter during severe storms or tornado activities is very handy.
Ozarks Technical Community College is set to unveil its new Allied Health Student Success Center today. There's a ribbon cutting that will be held at 2:30 in room 116 in Lincoln Hall there. The center is designed to provide better advising for students in the college's medical programs. Governor Mike Parson is also expected to be there and take part in the event.
New for you this morning, we all turn those clocks forward over the weekend by an hour for daylight saving time, but there's growing debate about whether or not we should stop changing our clocks altogether.
That is right. Color 10's Nisha McDonald met with a sleep expert and joins us now live in studio to share potential health side effects due to daylight saving. Nisha.
Well, good morning, Lauren and Joe. During daylight saving, our internal clocks can become out of sync or mismatched with our current day and night cycle. Now, Mercy physician Stephen Gradney says how well we adapt to the change depends on several things. Gradney says how much sleep we're getting each night is important. He says patients who go into daylight saving already sleep deprived can find it harder to adjust to the change. Gradney says basic sleep hygiene can include reducing or eliminating caffeine and alcohol, exercising several hours before bedtime, and creating calming rituals before bed. Now, according to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, spring daylight saving time transition raises health and safety risk.
Increased hospital admissions for things like heart issues, increased kind of car crashes or accidents at work due to patients being sleepy, and again, just decreased productivity in general. Most of those effects will last somewhere between 5 to 7 days is what they generally say, and then everything kind of goes back to normal.
Well, Gradney encourages going to sleep and waking up at the same times as well.
All right, thank you, Nija. Top Google trend this morning is a March 10th a presidential preference primary election tomorrow. Missouri will be voting in that.
That's right. A few things to watch out for. You're voting for the candidate that you want on the ticket in November.
Yeah, so most of the focus here is on the Democrats because President Trump is just a few delegates away from getting that nomination. He is pretty much viewed as a shoo-in. So, but it is important to keep in mind you will only be given a Democratic or a Republican ballot. So whichever one you plan on voting for this November is the ballot you should get, and then you will choose that candidate.
That's right. And yeah, the president still hasn't gotten that yet. He still needs about 500 delegates or so.
Yeah.
That will happen. But yeah, that's what you'll see as you head out to those polls tomorrow.
And we will have that coverage for you tomorrow. And then Wednesday morning, we'll have the results as well. But we want to take one more look at your Monday forecast first.
It'll be a little bit wet today. We'll have temperatures still warm in the lower 60s with breezy southerly winds and some showers. We could have a stronger severe storm to the south and west by this evening, so you want to stay tuned to Jamie tonight. A lull tomorrow and then unsettled by the end of the week.
All right, everyone. Thank you for starting your week off with us here on Daybreak.